Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Energize Your Online Business podcast. Hello, friends.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello. So many hellos. As always, I am joined by my super spectacular co-host, Kate Sitars. Hello, Kate.
I'm getting more hellos. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. And today we have the pleasure of being joined by a CSS student and a star business person, Jennifer Ellis Shoots. As in, she shoots, she scores. Hey, Jen.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
We are so excited to have you. I have had the pleasure of working with you in the circuit sales system program. So I'm really excited to dig into your story, dig into your business, and just share some of your insights, and of course, your wins as well. Yeah.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
tell us about yourself. Tell us about your business.
Yeah. In a nutshell, a pistachio nutshell, we'll put this in. I was a high school Spanish teacher, head girls varsity soccer coach, and counselor for at-risk students for just shy of 2 decades. And I thought that I would have retired in that career because I worked my butt off to get into it. And I didn't retire in that career. In fact, I had to get out of it to save my own life. I became very burned out. It became an unsustainable career path for me. Um, eh, yes, we'll just leave it at that. And I got so burned out. And I had also been navigating really complex chronic illness like the entire time I was a teacher. And that combined with the high stress of teaching just about killed me. I'm not kidding you. I got out of that career and had to learn how to become my own best self healer because the medical community had little to nothing to offer me. In fact, everything they offered me was just making me worse. And so that's when I kind of pivoted and started studying all things self healing, got certified in functional medicine, went deep into the realms of psychoneuroimmunology, repairing the circadian clock, neurolinguistic programming, like everything dealing with the whole person, the whole system. And that evolved into me, kind of coupling all of the skills and strategies that I had learned as a teacher, presentation skills, curriculum design, coaching skills, speaking skills. And I'm like, I'm going to build a business where I merge all of that with all of this. And I started doing one-on-one functional medicine coaching. But the more I got into functional medicine, working with chronically ill people, the more I realized that they really needed more of like the transformational medicine type of stuff, pairing psychology with physiology. So then I really pivoted and kind of came up with my own proprietary way of working with clients that I now call transformational medicine. And then I decided to build an academy called Wellness Code Academy, where I create programs that teach practitioners how to practice transformational medicine, which is like merging the physiology with the psychology. And we have 3 programs and counting. We have a year-long certification program. And then we have a kind of a midway, which is what we are using the CSS for. And then we have a smaller program, but we're going to be adding more programs. So that's me in a nutshell and where I came from and what I do.
That's amazing. Are most of your well, and I should say now, is most of your time spent training other practitioners, or are you still
Great
working one-on-one?
question. So I still do one-on-one, but very high level, and I only take 5 to 10 clients a year, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because it's really intense work that I do, and it's like
You
a
don't want to burn out
like
again.
correct, okay, and my sessions are 90 minutes to 2 hours each, and there's a lot of pre-planning and post-planning. And so I do it because I love it. I'm good at it. And it's what I kind of built this on. But more importantly, I do it to keep my skills fresh so that I can speak with authenticity and teach from a space of integrity to the practitioners that take our programs.
Mhm.
Um, because you got to do it to a practitioner is someone that practices continuously. So I practice what I preach.
Mhm.
And that positions me to be a more impactful program creator, leader, facilitator, teacher, whatever it is I am.
Mhm. What was it that made you, if you remember the moment that kind of made you go, you know what, I need to move from helping people one-to-one to teaching other people how to do this?
Yeah, so great question. And my answer to that is you can take a teacher out of the classroom, but you can't take a classroom out of the teacher. I was born to teach groups. I was born to create. I was born to present. And I've known that. I mean, that's why I became a teacher to begin with. And it broke my heart. Like literally, it literally was a traumatic loss for me to walk away from that career because there was so much about it that I loved, but it was unsustainable. And I just realized that I'm like, I need to be creating curriculum and designing curriculum and teaching groups. That's where I really thrive the best. And I'm really on the trajectory to get back into more in person. Like I want to be a public speaker and things like that. I want to be up facilitating more in person, not just living my life behind a screen. Um, so that's kind of on the docket. So that's the direction I'm going. So it was just something I was born with.
That makes a
And how
lot of
cool to have
sense.
such a bigger impact to,
Yeah,
exponentially increase your impact.
exactly. It's a great way to, and I enjoy, it's not that I don't enjoy the one-on-one work, but I couldn't just do that. And to
Mhm,
be honest with you, it's not scalable enough. It's not sustainable enough, for me,
mhm,
not saying that it's not that for everybody, but for me,
mhm,
it's just not.
mm.
I need, you know, I need more.
Well, and I
People.
mean, you've created a system that benefits people. And as you teach other people to use that system with other people who are suffering,
Yeah,
you get to spread that impact so much further than you could that if it were just you as the only practitioner of it.
correct. Exactly. And I have a business partner now. Didn't always, but she's actually a graduate of my year program.
Cool.
And she was so impressed and transformed because of her experience. I actually also do like one-on-one business mentoring and business
Oh,
building coaching with health and wellness professionals because these programs, that are teaching them functional medicine aren't teaching them how to be entrepreneurs. So they think I'm going to complete this training and clients are going to magically fall in my lap and want to spend thousands of dollars with me that's all they need to do is just complete it. That's what Sarah and I thought. We just thought we're going to complete a program, build a website, and put an open sign on our, the the cyber door that says we're open, and people are just going to flock to us. That doesn't happen. Not reality, like a delusional world. And so that was like a huge wake up call for both of us. We're like, whoa, we actually have to learn how to market ourselves and put ourselves out there and like learn copywriting and how to speak and how to be good on camera. That was like a shell shock.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I do some of that low scale on the side. But anyway, Sarah, my business partner, she completed my 1 year program, and then she hired me to help mentor her in her business. We became close friends. We realized that we had more in common than we didn't. And we're like, let's create a mid-sized program together and go into business together. And that how that story ended. So here we are now, full-fledged business partners. And there's that.
That's cool. How
So
long have
cool.
you guys been business partners?
Um, since like 2000, like since the unfolding of the change of the world. Okay, we have
Yeah.
we have the world pre-COVID pandemic, and now we have world post-COVID pandemic, like right at 2020. So
Yeah.
right as the craziness was unfolding, we kind of merged together, and we've been together since then.
That's cool. And that's a good track record. That's a solid
Mhm,
4 years.
Oh,
Good
that
for you.
and we really like each other. We have our miffs, riffs, and whatever. Like who doesn't? We're
Yeah.
human and we piss each other off sometimes. But in the grand scheme of things, we respect each other. We know each other really well, and we're doing it. We're
Mhm.
doing it, and our friendship and our partnership is deepening. So that is a really good track record because most
Yeah.
partnerships don't last.
exactly.
But we have a really a good setup. So I'm feeling good about that. And we created a killer program, an absolute like diamond rough gold mine of a program. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've got big plans on our horizon.
That's so exciting. Well, and when you say, well, we put up the website, we kind of just assumed that people would buy it. You're certainly not alone. I know that when I was a brand new entrepreneur, which I think every entrepreneur I know is like, well, I created something great.
It's
People are just
awesome.
going to
Yeah.
find it and buy it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, it doesn't, it just so doesn't work that way. And the
If
truth of the
only.
fact is that, with each passing day, more and more people enter the online entrepreneurial space. So the competition, it's exponentially increasing
Mhm.
every second. I mean, you blink and there's another million videos on YouTube.
Yes.
So yeah, and it's become almost kind of like Hollywood, man. Your marketing's got to be spot on. It needs to speak to people. The average human adult, their attention span is 8.25 seconds, which is less than a goldfish, ladies. Okay. Less than a goldfish. Okay. So we've got eight, and that's with like educated, highly educated people,
Yeah.
because we live in this LED, fast paced, keep up with the Joneses culture. So all of our nervous systems have been programmed to this, constant barrage of information and stimulus coming into us. So we got 8.25 seconds to grab somebody. And if we
That's
don't
a
grab them in those
toughie.
8.25 seconds, they're gonskis. They're already clicking on the next button, the next link, website, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know any of this. Like, it's like sink or swim, kind of figured out, better
Yeah.
figure it out, or go back to working for the man. And that's not happening.
Hmm.
So what were some of the things that you tried to do as you were building, as you're getting to where you
Um,
are right now? What are some of the tactics, the
uh,
sales
If you're
methods?
watching,
yeah,
I love
girl,
your
I like
reaction.
laugh. I mean, I laugh. I'm like, what haven't I done? Freebies on top of freebies on top. I don't know how many darn, checklists and reports and ebooks I've created. I have got like a graveyard of those. Okay.
Yeah.
Grow your email list with a freebie. So, went down that route. Uh, Webinars where you get hundreds of, several hundreds of people that sign up and then like five show up, which
Mhm.
which is like a total hit to your
Yeah.
self-esteem and any unresolved trauma wounds and the whole I'm not good enough. I always laugh. I say if there's anything that brings somebody up close and personal with their, dysfunctional family dynamics and unhealed trauma wounds, it's become an online entrepreneur, man. You'll just get thrust right into that. And you better
Mhm.
start dealing with it because like wow, to have, 500 people sign up for a webinar and have like five show up, that hurts.
It's a roller
Yeah.
coaster though, right? You're like,
Yeah,
wow,
roller
500, and
coaster.
then real quickly, whoop.
Live launches. I don't have the nervous system to ever go through a like seriously. That's like the makings of a nervous breakdown and ending up in a psych ward as far as I'm convinced. It
Yeah.
it feels icky. I don't like it. I can't ever do it again.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm with you there. And you would know, you're the professional. It seems like just an extraordinary amount of stress and
Oh, and the
pressure
work that
and
and just yeah, it's not healthy. And it stresses you out and then you bring that vibe into your business and we it just is it doesn't work that. I just don't like that. So, I think I've done everything that other entrepreneurs have done that are insistent on making it work. It's kind of like sometimes throwing gum at the wall and seeing what's going to stick or not. Sometimes that's what it feels like.
yeah.
And I've hired business coaches and I've taken business trainings and they all have different philosophies, Um, and I've taken things that have resonated with me and left the rest. And some things I'm like, I'd never do that again. One business training I took taught and it was expensive too, but it taught like this creating a human funnel which was all about teaching you how to cold market via DMs and PMs. So direct messaging and private messaging on Facebook, about the most trauma, uninformed, intrusive, icky, like drop like the train. I'll just be candid. It was like a $15,000 training, and like within like 6 weeks, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And I just walked away from 15 grand investment because there, no refunds. And I'm like, I own it. That was a decision I made. At least now I know what I don't want to do. But I've paid big price. I've, made some mega high $1,000 poor choices trying to figure out the ropes. And so those are some of the things I've done, and just very avid on social media. We have a YouTube channel, weekly YouTube videos, really consistent with email. We produce a lot of high value content, and yeah, so those are some of the things we've done.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm a
so
systems girl, okay? I'm a systems girl. I like systems. I like to create systems that work and that make sense to me, both intellectually and emotionally,
yeah.
which is what attracted me to the CSS system. Okay.
Mhm.
So you got to have systems in place. Without systems, there is no business. I mean,
Mhm.
we're systems. We have a mind body system, that works, according to, like it's an orchestra, and you got to have all the pieces in place, and things got to be in tune, and the horns got to blow when they're supposed to horn, and the trumpets need to sound accordingly and so forth. So I'm a systems girl, and that's how I taught. So it made sense to me.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Can you dig in a little bit more about what it was that attracted you to the circuit sales system? Because, system is in the title, certainly, but you don't necessarily know all of the pieces of it until you're inside.
Yeah, though when that is true. However, when you come from like a background that I come from and you understand systems, you knew that there was a lot more that met the eye. Like I understood that, but maybe most, not everyone comes from my background.
It's
Okay.
true.
So like I could see that there was a lot of intricacies that were going to be presented to me that I couldn't see on at the face value, but I knew that they were there, and I could have probably made some educated guesses about what they are just based on my previous knowledge, if that makes
Mhm.
any sense.
Yeah.
But what attracted to me, it was a system. Okay, I could tell, very organized system based on logic that made sense to me, and bringing in a lot of the human psychology. Okay, someone like me with a really in-depth psychology background. If you really think about it, everything in life is psychology. Everything. Okay,
Mhm.
like it runs the world. And so if you don't appeal to what makes people tick on, how they make decisions, how they get attracted to things, what motivates them to take action, deadlines. Okay. My God, we humans, we are the world's worst procrastinators in the world. Okay. We won't take action. Okay. Even when we want something, we won't take action until we absolutely either we're brought to our knees from some catastrophic thing that forces us to take action. Like, okay, I have cancer, I'll quit smoking, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Or like, I think of my father. He died of cancer
Oh,
caused by smoking. He wanted to quit his whole life. Then
yeah.
he really was ready to quit when he finally had a case of cancer that he had no chance in hell of ever beating.
Yeah.
He already had like foot and three quarters in the grave when he was diagnosed. Day late, hour short. But that's, our brains are always going to choose the path of least resistance until we're put up against the situation where either it's going to move us closer to joy or further away from pain.
Yeah.
Okay. I know how the human brain works. I get it. I studied this stuff. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And you need to develop a system that taps into how humans work and how they make decisions and take action.
Mhm.
That was what attracted me
Yeah.
to, and the fact that no live launching, because like that was like my prerequisite for anything that I did. There can't be a live launch. There just can't be. I can't do it. I
Mhm.
wouldn't survive another one.
Yeah, I hear that. Believe me.
Like,
Uh,
gag me.
you mentioned trauma informed modalities and just practices. And I know that sometimes, and I know the way that we built it very deliberately, but I know that sometimes from the outside, people can be a little bit concerned about the concept of marrying deadlines with the concept of being trauma informed. Um,
Mhm.
and I obviously, in building it the way I did, I have some thoughts about that and some insight based on talking to some other people. But I'd love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, so thanks so much for bringing that up, because it's a question that I even raised in the Facebook group, because
Mhm.
we have come up against some resistance out in the industry of people that went through the fast action sequence. They missed the deadline, and they reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you and they didn't reach out like hours after the fact. I'm talking like a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Even people that missed the whole N1, S1, the second. And I am saying no. And they are getting mad and spinning it on me, saying, oh, and you call yourself trauma informed? How dare you call yourself trauma informed and you put a deadline on your content? That just creates a sense of urgency and sends the nervous system into a spiral. And at first I was like, whoa, maybe they're right. But I got a whole litany of unresolved trauma wounds, okay, that I'm still navigating through. Okay. Full candor here. And I grew up in an alcoholic household, lots of dysfunction junction galore in my family. So I've got some deeply ingrained patterns of I'm not enough, with a very critical mother and people pleasing. And I was a teacher, so that the program of No Child Left Behind, you are a servant of the public, was stamped like in my nervous system. So immediately I got sucked into it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, here, I'm this trauma informed and I'm triggering people left and right. But I stepped back and I've studied this stuff. And the truth of the fact is that there seems to be a lot of misunderstanding about what trauma informed means out there. And the people that are coming at us claiming that we're not trauma informed seem to believe that trauma informed means coddling, being immune to the realities of real life, being exempt from horrible behavior, because I have unhealed trauma wounds, so I can treat others disrespectfully and devalue them. Okay.
Mm.
That is the antithesis of trauma informed, because trauma happens because of weak boundaries. Okay. Because we get in life and in business what we tolerate. And when we tolerate bullshit, that's what we get in life. And I look back on all of the horrible dudes that I dated that treated me like shit because I allowed it, I tolerated it, and I stuck with it. Okay. And a lot of people seem to think, because I'm traumatized, the people that I hire to help me, they need to put up with my disrespectful behavior. No, because that's how you got into the position of having complex PTSD, is you tolerated too much bullshit. Now you expect other people to tolerate your bullshit. Hurt people hurt people.
Mhm.
And the thing about it is deadlines are a part of everyday life. What happens when we don't pay our mortgage when it's due, our car payment when it's due, your kids' college tuition when it's due, or
Mhm.
the private schools that you send your kids to, or their orthodontic bill? They, there's a deadline. And that's part of not being coddled from the reality of life.
Mhm.
And my argument is, well, if you're walking, downtown where you live, and you happen to pass by your favorite store and you see that dress that you've always liked and it just so happened to be on sale, and there was a deadline that the deadline was in 2 hours from now,
Mhm.
and you either get
Mhm.
it now or you don't. That's your choice.
Mhm.
Part of being trauma informed is modeling boundaries and standards and upholding them and standing in your courage and being assertive and protecting your boundaries. Now, whether it's received or not as a lesson at that time, well, the teacher appears when the student is ready.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Mhm.
that's my
Absolutely.
answer to that.
Yeah, it makes
Thank
a
you
lot of
for
sense.
sharing all that. That's,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I agree. And I kind of knew we were going to agree because we have in the Facebook group, we have had conversations about this, but even as we were building out the program, it was very important that it be a system that supports people in making the choice, or choice to purchase or choice not to purchase, right? That's what a deadline gives us. It gives us the opportunity
Oh,
to
yeah.
make a decision, but it's also not, you need to decide in the next 10 minutes. That's an unnecessary and false level of urgency. That personally, and get into all the other, but that doesn't feel necessary. And I don't, quite frankly, I think that level of urgency isn't a healthy thing for anyone. And
For
it's
anybody,
not something that
like
has to
a
happen.
Mhm.
business owner
Mhm.
or somebody
Yeah.
shopping. But my other thing is come on, who's perusing the internet that's not in a buyer's mindset? If you're surfing the internet and clicking on buttons and links, I'm sorry, you automatically are in a buyer's mindset because you're looking for something.
Mhm.
And your chances are you're looking for a solution to a problem you have.
It's
And
just, yeah.
nobody forces us to do anything. We click on links. God gave us all free will. Okay. We have
Yeah.
free will to click and sign up for, and like like when you sign up for things, and it's a business, at some point there is going to be an offer presented. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, money makes the world go round. And that's another big part of being traumatized is people get into this scarcity mindset where it's like taboo to charge money for helping people. Like if you truly want to help people, you should do it for free. And then who's going to pay my mortgage? Who's going to put food on the table for my children?
Mhm.
Should I go get a waitressing job or a bartending job at night and then work for free during the day helping people? Like, come on, let's wake up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier of humans taking the path of least resistance. I think, they want a solution, but then you're confronted with, here is the solution, and it can help you and it can change your life and it's transformative. And it's like, oh, now I have to do the thing. And that's
Not right to do
scary,
the thing.
resistance,
It
all of
is
that.
scary. It
Yeah.
is. And if somebody's, I mean, chronic exhaustion is a global epidemic. And when we're chronically exhausted, we really don't want to take action because action requires energy that we don't have.
Yeah.
And when we don't have energy, especially in the brain, our brain is going to be kind of automatically defaulting to our limbic state, which is our fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Okay. Kind of our punch now, ask for forgiveness later brain.
Mm.
And it's going to trigger you when you are, it is. And you're going to go into that default mode, and any defenses that you developed at an earlier stage when you were traumatized are going to come front and center, and they're going to take over, bringing out the not so bright side of yourself. Everything we do in our life is a choice for the most part.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I
And
agree.
so I think we just need to put it in perspective. But I agree. I think a 5-day deadline is more than enough. And it's an incentive. And the way I see it, our program is worth way more than we're even charging for it. Way more,
Mhm.
like way more.
Mhm. Well, and now that you have implemented the system, you have dug in, you have done the work,
Dealt with some comments online
with
as
some comments online.
And we
Absolutely.
continue to deal with
Yeah.
them. Sarah and I have to like kind of
Business,
talk each
right?
other off the ledge,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
are we doing the right thing? But I'm holding my ground. No
But good
amount
for
of
you for
money is
enforcing
worth.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
enforcing that boundary though too, because I feel like that the people pleasing aspect you spoke, like that doesn't go away for any of us
No, it
necessarily.
doesn't.
It's just managing it.
You manage it, but the more you manage it, the more less power it has over us,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
Mhm.
But we all
Yeah.
have it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
that's
now I know,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I know you've weeding out the people who, thank goodness, they're not going to be in your program. But what kind of results have you been seeing for the
Yeah.
business? Yeah.
So not you like there's so many results. First off, I I'm a skilled creator to begin with just because of my background and I've really worked at it. But I feel like I have earned a PhD in online marketing from your program. Like literally, like my copywriting skills have just become so much more honed and sharpened and skilled. And I can now clearly see where I'm um being too wordy and lengthy when I describe. So I've gotten much more concise and punchy in just everything that I create now. And now I'm like highly aware of it. So as somebody that was a teacher and really honors and respects lifelong learning, I'd have to say because I'm very altruistic by nature. Like I always look at what the value is outside of the monetary value first, because that's
Mhm.
what really drives me truly. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love money. We all do, right? But it's not my main driving force. It has really helped me to be a more effective content creator, a more effective articulator, communicator, writer, all of that. So, hats off. I tell
Oh, thank
everybody,
you.
I'm like, these last 9 months, I feel like I've earned a PhD in online marketing, seriously. And I just learned so much from you.
Oh, well,
So,
thank you.
that was the first payoff and by far the most valuable. And then, yeah, so it took us 9 months to get it together because she's in Arizona, I'm in the Chicagoland area, life happens. We're still both running our respective businesses, and um I'm a self-reported perfectionist, no doubt. And so like I would like I do things to like the nth level. And so it takes us longer because of that and other factors. Okay. And so anyway, we got it together, flipped it on at about the 9 month mark. And just with, some moderate, I wouldn't even say like huge organic marketing, just some posts on Instagram and Facebook, organic. um, we had like a 6.5%, conversion rate, which so that was really good. And we
Mhm.
literally just started our uh paid ads, just like it hasn't even been a week. It's been like 4 or 5 days. And now I think it's just going to be a matter of, letting the Facebook and Instagram algorithm figure out, the best thing, and for us to figure out which of our creatives and which of our written caption, I think that's what you call it, works the
Mhm.
best.
Mhm.
And people are signing up because, the numbers I pop in and
Yeah.
look at how many people are in the fast action sequence, and every day it's more,
Oh, yeah.
so
That's
um
exciting. Yeah.
it's just
Well, and you're at such an exciting stage because you have done you followed the process. Good for you, and you tested it out with that organic audience, right? And you know that it works. And now that you have the ads running, it's a matter of getting that right audience, getting that right creative, getting that right. And as you dial that in, it lets you grow and grow and grow. So it's so exciting. I'm really excited to see how it all shakes out.
I mean, we had our first sale within a day of turning within a day. We
That's
turned it on,
awesome.
boom, boom, and then another, and then another. I'm like, damn, all right, I'll take it. So I'm like, we did something right.
Yeah.
We did something right because they wouldn't have taken action.
Yeah. Well, Jen, this has been so much fun and so insightful. Now, and if someone is listening and thinking, okay, this was really exciting to hear about CSS and her experience with it, but also I want to know more about her program. Where can people find you and learn more about this program?
wellnesscodeacademy.com.
Awesome.
It's simple as that, wellnesscodeacademy.com. And the program that specifically that we signed up for the CSS program is called Holistic HTMA Pro, which teaches hair tissue mineral analysis through the lens of trauma, psychoneuroimmunology, and transformational coaching. So it's really teaching people how to interpret it, but also implement it from that lens, not just this, let's read a lab and create a prescriptive supplement protocol.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's old school. It doesn't work. It's teaching them how to really work with the whole person and the whole system. And it's a one of a kind. There's no other program like it. There isn't.
Amazing.
We will link to it below
Yep.
for everyone.
We'll put the,
So,
the
yeah,
link in
wellnesscodeacademy.com. The
Yeah.
homepage is give you everything you need to know.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am looking forward to catching up later as you get your ads going, and because I can't wait to hear about
Yeah,
more of the
sure.
the inevitable successes.
Yeah,
for
for
you and your
sure.
business.
And just thanks again for the work you do, the program you
Oh, thank you.
created, and providing me a platform to level up my own knowledge and skills. Super appreciative of that. So hats
Oh.
off to you. Good job. Yeah, really well done.
Well, thank you, and thank you for doing the work. You really dug in, and you did a great job.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, guys. It's been a slice.
Thank you, and we will catch you all in
Yep.
the next episode. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Do you want to learn how to sell and scale your offer on autopilot every single day without the chaos of live launching or the low conversions of Evergreen? Who doesn't, right? Get our free on-demand video training at circuitsalessystem.com/free. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to make sure you never miss a video. We'll catch you next time.